Well, thanks for responding to my invitation. I'm Bob Doyle. I'm one of the featured teachers in the film and book The Secret, and I currently facilitate the Evolve Your Excellence program, which is a brain rewiring program. So, what does brain rewiring have to do with truth? Well, just about freaking everything. So, when I ask who decides your truth and why does it matter, this is something I'd really like. I invite you to ponder it because so much of our lives is run on autopilot. We make decisions on autopilot, and we do it from the best of to the best of our ability based on what we know is true, right? So, where did you get your truth from? If I was to ask you who decides your truth, most likely you'd say I do. Like I'm not gonna make my decisions based on Facebook or social media or whatever. I've got my own brain. I can evaluate things. I'm a mature, intelligent individual, and I decide my truth. Right. So here's a deeper level of contemplation on that. Where did that foundation of truth come from? Originally. Like originally. So when you were born, right, 0 years old, your brain is just wide open, and it's basically saying yes to everything, right? The brain is not developed enough for us to assess and evaluate information coming in. We don't even know the language, right? So for the first 0 to 7, we are just saying yes to everything. So if our parents have a belief system and they talk about it and they teach it to us, there's no reason in the world why we should reject it. We don't have the ability to say, wait a minute, that doesn't jive with me, because you've got nothing else to compare it to. Does that make sense? Right? So of course we just believe. And now age 7 or so comes along whenever we can start to have conscious thought. And then you'd think, okay, well, great, now I can make a conscious decision. But no one at age 7 is going, but before I start making decisions, let me reevaluate everything I've learned up to this point and decide whether or not it's true for myself, whether it works for me. No, nobody's doing that right at age 7. So what they're going to do is whatever new experiences come their way, they're going to take that and they're going to compare it to their version of the truth, everything that was in there, that whole lens through which they see the world that was developed by somebody else with their belief systems and their biases and their everything, right? Now, of course, as you grow, you will find your own individual place in this web of truth. But we want to make sure that this truth that you've got going that's going to run the rest of your life actually serves you, right? That's why it matters. If the truth that you are living by, that was basically fundamentally put in place by somebody else, isn't true, it doesn't work for you, if you're not getting the results you want in your life, then guess what? You get to realize that, let's say, baby number 2 that was born about the same time you were, who grew up in a different family with a different set of beliefs, their brain was initially wired differently. They see possibility, they see opportunity, whatever, something different than you. So their truth is different, therefore they take different action and get different results. But there is nothing to stop you from doing the same thing starting now, even as an adult. Just to evaluate what your version of truth is doing for you and how it might be working against you, and decide, well, what if some of this I can change so that I make different meaning out of things, so that I take different actions, so that I get different results. But how would I do that? Well, that is what I teach, you see. We have these free trainings every couple of weeks. I invite you to come in and learn a little bit about how your brain got wired in the first place and exactly what to do to start to rewire it. Because at any age, you can begin to send your brain new information on a consistent basis, grow new neural pathways, stop giving attention to the old ones, and you can literally change your brain. And when you do that, it has its own unique set of challenges. In other words, when you say, I'm going to be somebody different starting tomorrow, and you've got a whole lifetime of wiring that has known you as one way and defined you as one way, well, you're going to feel that. So it can be pretty challenging. So we talk about things you can do to get through that too. So if there's any part of your experience of reality, especially if it's like this persistent nagging thing, it's like, whoa, if I could only just, why does this just keep happening? That is a wiring issue ultimately, and things that you can change if you have enough motivation and inspiration and commitment to change it. So we talk about all that in these trainings. The next one's coming up in the next couple of weeks. We got them at various times of day, various times of week. Just check the registration page here below for the time that works for you. Cannot wait to see you in one of those trainings. We have a great time. You'll take home actionable items, and it absolutely can change your life if you're committed to doing that. All right, we will talk to you soon.